of just Team Spirit have a very significant lead that they want to grow during that laning stage and then push into that enemy side of the map. And it's going to be hard to get back in this game in some ways because like there's going to be the Dazzle Hex. We've seen that versus Terrorblade. Pretty annoying for all those illusions. So we'll see if they're going to hit those marks they need though.
Well, we'll see as we get into this game number 1. Another thing that was just tweeted out recently, where I go for all my information, the lovely Knoxville, because of the results of that LGD series, this series actually determines who is qualified to TI. Muted right at the start. Love that. All right, good stuff. Okay. Now,
yeah, but if you had him muted, you would know. You wouldn't know that he was so clearly, you know.
That's true.
Muted now, I guess, is what he's saying, huh? Good choice. Good choice here.
He's making him use it APM early. That's what's going on. Collapse already knows what's happening. But yeah, a lot of implications for this game for both of these teams. Want to make their way over. Oh, that's pinged out though. So they saw that smoke. Dazzle with the early ward placed down. They know that all of the side of Outsiders is down bottom.
Yeah, pretty sneaky ward that he's got there, right? Outside of the high ground there, so unlikely to be de-warded. Gives you a little bit less info, but the question is, can you really capitalize on this? They're going to try and sit mid and see if they do the big cross through. And you know what? They are going for it right now.
Dude, formation. They've done the math. They know what's happening. Do they send somebody out to try and be a little bit of a bait here? It doesn't look like it. So won't get caught at the very least. Doesn't look like there's going to be any early skirmishes either.
Are we sniping a mid-courier? Is that what's happening here? Is that what this board tells me?
I mean, that'd be kind of cool. They're hanging out. Maybe they're just waiting for them to walk back over to go to lane.
But even then, you don't have enough to do.
Yeah, I don't think so. They're just going to throw out the concussive and then back away.
Well, trying to figure out what these lane setups are from Outsiders, right? You know, they want to see what Team Spirit are up to. And well, they're just going to do collapse in the bottom and Zenyatta up top.
And that means, I mean, they're sticking the Tusk down here for a little bit longer. They obviously know the Skyreth is in the area. But this looks to me like an attempt at first blood down bottom. And who are they going to go for? Damage shows up. Okay, maybe not. Maybe Yokota's just hanging out down here for a second, then he's going to TP away.
And this is one of those situations that kind of works out for both teams, right? Because in a sense, like DM's playing the Timbersaw. Obviously, you really want a good start on this hero, especially when you have a Terrorblade who we're assuming is probably not going to have the best time. So there's going to be some pressure on you in that earlier part of the game to try and make moves. But oh, there you go. Rebound jump there. Don't even need the dispos.
Very well played.
Oh, and Courier. Oh, yeah.
That is rough in this tri-lane versus tri-lane that now we've set up. Getting the first blood and then also a courier snipe. So Ramsey's no regen at all. Sky's going to have to come back with a boatload.
This kind of with the Aether on the way out at the very least on the GPK. Nice trade.
This will be interesting to watch if they continue with this tri-lane. I mean, again, Timbersaw facing off 1-1 against the Ursa.
Right. So this is where we talk about how like Ursa's a pretty good counter to Timber, especially in the laning stage, because obviously you can get the Fury Swipes. But this is what ends up happening. If you get a 1v1, then you just split the lane. Like the wave just gets pulled apart. Ursa doesn't really get to benefit from all the benefits that you have in terms of having the Fury Swipes and everything. And Timber's just going to run away from you. He's going to catch the wave somewhere else once he sees a couple points of reactive armor, and you don't get to push the advantage you should have.
And instead, this happens down bottom, where they managed to get the kill onto the Viper. So that was the Metamorphosis used, and early pressure being thrown back the way of Team Spirit by Outsiders.
And now the importance here for Team Spirit is they need to punish when this meta is down, right? You can't just like abandon this tri-lane at this point.
And a couple punches, a couple body blocks. Damage, taking some damage. Mira now shardsed in. They will lose the Tusk. Mira, a couple more punches, and almost able to survive, but Ramses gets it with the reflection there.
These are some nasty spells.
It is.
A little bit of poison attack, a little bit of poison touch. It's poison all the way down.
And in the meantime, that does leave us in a complete 1v1 mid, although they do rotate in one hero, the Dazzle, to secure the water rune. So Miposhka takes that away, and that sets Toronto Tokyo up to have the bottle refill there.
Oh, and then you know what's next after that, of course, would be the bounty runes, but Miposhka, not dealing with that.
Not for now. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, you want to punish this Terrorblade whenever that Metamorphosis is down, and Ramsey's really taking a chunk of damage, but Mira might have gone a bit too far here. And stuck over, saves that rebound for that entire period.
What a hero.
Dude, I mean, that was all a bait. Yimich is going to get punished and killed.
Yeah, you got to get the full chain down there if you want the kill. And as you can see up top, observers are showing, like, look at him. DM's just running around. He actually's got his courier. He walked his crate right into the giant horde of his own units.
I mean, I don't know about that one.
So this is just, the matchup does not go Ursa's way in this case at all, right? Because, I mean, again, yes, now I'm talking about how like a Timber's getting a free game and Ursa's also getting a free game. And
True.
he can go for this Battle Fury a little bit more comfortably. He's going to have excellent scaling. So this can actually help increase the window that Team Spirit have in terms of this like this concept of like dominating the laning stage and really controlling Outsider's side of the map. You have more leeway when you get an amazing start for your Ursa like this.
Yeah, it gives you a lot more freedom for sure. And again, anytime any of these supports leave the lane, it starts to get very hard to stand close to that Viper at all. Already 9 denies on the Viper. And Terrorblade just having to wait for that meta to come back up again before they can really contest.
You also saw Yamich, because they can't contest in the lane, he went mid to try and help with the water room, but because Toronto Tokyo has the Aether Remnant, he can just sit it right on top, had a great timing, and ensured that even with that minimal duration on the pole, he still got the water room for free. No contest there from Yamich.
Dude, another pull through too. Down bottom. That is frustrating. Yeah, they have just not been able to get the Terrorblade to the lane at all. And now Mira runs in aggressively, finds TB, the silence to stop the poison attack, but Ramsey still might be in trouble as he is slowly burning down to that poison touch. He's low, and I mean, even if he's not dead at this point, this is a catastrophe of a lane.
Yeah, they have a couple salves they can throw out there. At least a salve and a couple tangos, I should say. So, good news, he didn't use meta. Didn't try and go for an immediate turn, because I don't think they had the damage for it. So, at the very least, that's not down. But, yeah, it's going to be a little bit before they can find that moment to get back into it. Whereas, meanwhile, I love how we just keep getting the constant pictures of DM just, like, farming the lane and the neutrals, right? The worst-case scenario. Hence why he's at the top in last hits and just dead even right now with the Ursa in terms of net worth.
Level 6 is up top. Timbersaw probably the hero that can threaten Yadro much more so, unless there's some crazy shenanigans going on, but obviously has the Enrage to deal with that big hulk of damage that comes through. Ramsey's popped the meta and is just leaving the lane. He's done.
Yeah, well, same thing for Yadro, because it's a level 6 Timber and he just used Enrage, and so he has to go back, get his salve, and it's scary, right? So this is where the rotation comes through. This is where you try and bait DM to go aggro again, and then Mira's going to try and jump in and get a turnaround play.
DM,
there
does he know? Chase, dispose. He was slowed by the Chakram, though. They can't get on top of him. DM just gets away, so the gank will not succeed.
Yeah, that Timber Chain, 4-second CD even at level 1, so keeps you pretty safe. And yeah, careful now.
Mira in trouble. A couple more punches, dies to the Timber Chain. DM is having a hell of a game.
Yeah, you thought, you know. Come up here and help your Ursa. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm a free farming Timbersaw. It's going to stay that way.
And just nobody rotating mid either, or out of mid, I should say, as both heroes level 6 now.
Yeah, what happened to the 6 heroes mid at 6 minutes like every other game that we cast?
Listen, it's a sort of honor thing here in the mid lane.
You know, Yadro, he actually has Yadro God on the back of his jersey now, I noticed.
Oh, okay.
So he's really committed to this. This is what happens when you win TI.
I see.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I mean, think about what he gave up for TI. He shaved his head, he colored his hair. It was all wild. Now he gets to reap the benefits of getting to call himself God.
Yeah, he even came and took our tea. The series started. He's like, can I get on that?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
All right, yeah. So I know he's well hydrated with a little bit of, you know.
That's right. I didn't see what he got.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't take notes. I apologize. I am a failed analyst. I did not write down what kind of tea Yadro was into.
He drank some Earl Grey. Very good for the hydration. I don't got anything else there.
Yeah, they didn't pay for that shout out. So now you have to flame them at the same time, make it even.
I think it's a style, not like a brand.
Well, I'm not a tea man, so I can't actually tell the difference.
Very even, as we just make the segue back into the game. But I think the big thing that we're seeing is this differential of the Terrorblade that has really struggled to get anything going, but is a hero that can retreat back to the jungle and try and catch up. We'll see if Team Spirit give him that space. I feel like with all of the early aggression heroes that they've got, they can maybe just bowl on in there, but we'll see if a DM can maybe make that space.
That's the name of the game this time, and with the help of Akunka, I mean, GBK, there's DM right there. GBK That's his goal. He's got the max Tidebringer, so he's got the big damage. He's ready to hunt out. Has a DD rune, not the best rune for a Kunkka overall. You know, you want that mobility of the Invis or the haste rune or something to try and easily hop on top of someone with these earlier points in the X and sort of guarantee a kill, like you can on numerous heroes. But that will be the goal. Go out and hunt. Yadro, a pretty good target, especially if they could force out the Enrage in lane again by simply like pressuring him with the Chakram.
I was trying to see if they were typing to each other, but then I realized they're all muted for each other too, so probably not.
GBK wants you guys to follow his socials.
Good job.
Yeah, so get in there, help a guy out.
So we get back into this, only 6.5 minutes into the game, and Outsiders hoping to put the pressure on Yadro to free up some space for Ramses, who is 3 levels behind him.
I mean, I'm just watching Yamish trying to hang out in the lane right now. He's like under an Obs and a Sentry. He's like kind of trying to punch the creeps, but then there's a Viper. He's like, what am I supposed to do here? I'm trying to pull this over or something, but they even have the vision on that.
Yeah, he'll be able to come and contest that.
Couldn't even get it. Oh, that hurts. All right, I'm just going to hang out in this lane, I guess. That's Yamish's job for this game is Hakoda, DM, yeah, getting in there close.
Silence, no Enrage for you, and has the Enrage afterwards. Mira right on top, jumps in. DM still chasing, threatening, almost gets him, forces it out, now turns on to 2. It's 2v3. It's still not good enough for Team Spirit. In fact, GPK comes in with that DD, looks to the side, but not able to get him. Just barely escaping the Yadro.
Ow, that was a big old chunk of Tidebringer, wasn't it?
That's what a DD does. But GPK now wants to chase Claps. Oh, he went backwards. He didn't think he was going to find him there. And so after throwing the Torrent, connects on the Tidebringer, it is still a little bit tough to make that gank work without the Torrent, even though he has the boat.
Yeah, it's a bit much, even with the the threat of the rotations coming through from the allies to help out is certainly going to be an issue. But GPK is going to continue by trying to farm up in towards that BKB so that he can really be the frontliner of this game in combination with the Terrorblade and really give this space over to Ramsey. Something that's kind of important. Maybe he doesn't have to get a BKB as early, right? If he can get some proper spacing in these engagements and doesn't feel as pressured.
True.
See if you can pump up that DPS a little bit. And for Team Spirit, though, the goal right now, I'm sure you're thinking about Roche. Not necessarily now, but you're planning towards that in the future, right? You have an Ursa on your lineup.
Just trying to get him some farm if possible. He is going for the Battle Fury. Down to about half HP, the sidekick. There for the turn with the Dispose. Toronto Tokyo makes the rotation with the Arcane Rune, and they punish one of those top net worth heroes, taking down DM.
Yeah, no, right back to the mid lane, too. And if you can only get Toronto Tokyo here, unfortunately he has to run, and Maposhka.
The X is there.
Yeah, I mean, he still has a grave, so.
Okay, Snowball used. Maposhka pops the grave and just walks away, not opting to use it all. On the top side, Hakoda also caught on this Skywrath Mage, so Toronto Tokyo, they managed to find 2 kills with that rotation. Yeah,
Maposhka's still surviving. GPK, I feel like he doesn't want to feed, like he doesn't want to overcommit, and so he's not getting that full-on pressure onto these heroes, like not onto Maposhka in the mid, not onto Claps in the bottom. And I don't know, it feels like they kind of need these plays right now.
I mean, it's very scary with the potential for a Viper rotation. You know, if you're underneath that tower, you're not getting out as Kunkka, but like you said, they need it.
Well, they're going to smoke up. They're going to start making their way up top here. Yadro still vulnerable as he sits on the lane. They've got 4 heroes up here.
Mira trying to block the smoke from connecting onto the Ursa, but they might just get both of them depending. Actually, Outsiders, they're going to
double back. There is a TP as well here from Toronto Tokyo too, so if they do dive up there, he TPs in, it could go bad.
They want the rune. I think that's part of it here as well. Coda, silence, GPK, finds him, X, Snowball, tries to get away, stun is out onto both,
got the sidekick
Mira,
off
he just gets away. Dispose out, couple more punches is all they need, and doesn't quite find Mira, but they do eventually when they bring all 3 heroes.
Yeah,
still,
they have to commit that way at the very least, so Yadro can't be chased down after. And they immediately just keep chasing.
All right, they run back top again. And they find him. Yadro thought he was safe. No longer the case. There is a TP coming in from the Viper, and they might have scouted that, so they give up for a moment, and now they run back in after the TPs have been canceled. They go in for the kill anyways. Oh, that feels real bad. Yadro's like, come on, you could have come to help me. But no such luck.
Yeah, a lot of these other times where he's turned it around, he's had the sidekick, you know, so he can like chew his way back into it. And the possessed mask not really having the same effect here. So, yeah, unfortunate there. I don't know if Claps got canceled by someone else or if just didn't see the value in the rotation, because obviously if he makes the TV, they probably don't go again, and then Claps isn't farming. So, yeah, he's still benefiting a lot by being out here. He now gets the Fairies Trinket, a fantastic item. For pretty much anyone, probably Toronto Tokyo. We're going to grab that one up there, but we'll see.
Well, I will say that from what we've seen from Spirit throughout the DPC, throughout a lot of their matches, they sometimes will drop down a little bit early like this and then make a rotation in the mid game. We'll see if they can make it happen again in this one, but Outsiders kind of running ragged over them over these last few minutes.
Yeah, Mira does go down there. It was trying to get the Fairy Trinket. Not often you get that as a support these days, but we have been seeing this trend actually a little bit more where the core players are taking the Arcane Ring. Because, more mana is more farm a lot of the time. They figured that one out. It took them a while, but they got there,
But the Spell Lamp, it's so nice.
You maybe just get later.
All right, fair enough. Outsiders looking to keep the pressure on. Tier 1 tower hit towards mid. Miposhka caught. Boat is there, and the finish. Now Yadro runs in. Only a Perseverance to his name, but Toronto Tokyo in the area, they might be able to make enough happen. Jumps forward, catching, but no, they have to run away. Yadro pops in rage, turns to fight, realizes he can't. Yemich, being slowly whittled down by Collapse, does die. And in the end, it's support for support.
Yeah, DM got pretty low there too, but so we talked a little bit about how GBK wasn't committing, wasn't diving stuff, but you can see that he's super high right now in terms of the net worth, and the reason for that is because he's not taking these risks. I'm sure he just really doesn't want it unless it's super safe, because he can go back and he can still farm really quick, and he's taking up parts of the map that Ramses wasn't able to reach anyway, and so GBK is just really getting close to that BKB at an excellent timing right now.
Moves forward and they find him, and just like that, the caster curse is going to strike again as GBK dies immediately.
Perhaps not expecting that many heroes to stick around, it would seem. Yeah, I guess. Once Yamich dies, there's less threat of turnaround potential with the snowball, so a little bit less fear there from Team Spirit as they hop right on in.
Well played, well played. Part of that too is you saw Toronto Tokyo, he had spotted the X mark and was able to sneak around there with the smoke. But Team Spirit, after losing a bit of footing, have found it again and are pressuring this mid tower. And it looks like they will get it.
And if Collapse finishes out this Boots of Travel, which he does indeed, yeah, he has purchased that recipe, so this is going to be a lot of global pressure right now from a Viper, who's probably the scariest part of the game, it feels like, this hero. You building that next item, be it he's looking at a Hurricane Pike maybe, perhaps even a Scotty, he's getting all kinds of stuff. Doesn't seem to feel the need for a BKB quite yet. This is a true powerful moment right now for this Viper player.
Can he connect with it, though, and find the good fights? See Yamich TP out of bottom, and Yadro almost done with the Battle Fury. 14 minutes.
Smoke here. Nice Aether Remnant, though, to catch the stairs. They're going to find their way through this bottom half of the map, see if they can catch Yadro. And Miposhka looking to do his duty here.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows. He knows so hard.
He's just waiting there. They think that there's a ward even up on the high ground.
Judging by how he stood, it really did look like it.
Reading the map very well on Team Spirit. And they even checked for the sentry ward.
I would too. That's crazy.
If Miposhka tips him right now, then we got to do some investigating.
Yeah.
But Battle Fury done, and Yadro immediately over to this triple stack of Ancient, clears through it.
That was actually ridiculous. I can't believe he dissuaded a smoke just without even having the knowledge of it.
Yeah, really well done.
This is really all you have to do is 5 guys. And look, the cores are warding these days. They're taking these things. They're free. They're a little more open to the idea.
To be fair,
just keep them alive.
There's a lot of TI winners on his team too. And I don't know if the 5s in the other games are going to be able to replicate that as well. Cores in your game walk up that ramp.
That's a fair point.
But you can see this trifectas of cores, there's very little separating all of them. It's less than 1,000 gold. If a big fight breaks out right here, it's going to come down a lot to the timings and what all the stuff is completed at that point. And Kunkka building towards the BKB almost has it done for GPK with the Manta done on Terrorblade. This might give him enough confidence to make at least a defense if there is a Roche attempt.
Yeah, and so the interesting thing about an Ursa draft, we talked about how there was this sort of early game timing that was possible for Team Spirit. They didn't necessarily hit that. I would not say that they pressured enough objectives, and grew this to something that's very threatening before Terrorblade becomes a real hero. And so now we've got this other idea of the Ursa. He's got the Battle Fury, and Ursa is a hero that no matter what happens in the game, pretty much, if you stun someone and control them, Ursa can't kill them. So that's always going to be an avenue back into it. But this window for them to really be dominant, especially with this Viper, is shrinking right now.
Oh, the stun. They find and kill Collapse. Only the boots travel, not enough. Toronto Tokyo jumps in, tries to bring down Hakoda. Mira living through with the sidekick in the Unleash. Yamich is going to die, so Team Spirit punish that aggression. Although, again, it's the 2 supports for the core.
Yeah, there's no smokes. I'm really expecting them to just like turn this into a Roche at some point. I don't know which kill it's going to be, but I feel like that's the sort of moment Team Spirit needs right now. They just need like kill into a Roche and to go. Miposhka is closing in on the shard as well, which is great. I'm certain that that's probably what he's saving up for here. They really need it for this move, and now they get the catch. Absolutely massive on top here. Though. They need the Sable's been used before Yadaro's here, unfortunately.
They might just die on this if you go much further. Everybody from Spirit trying to chase DM.
Get that guy.
And they can't get him. He's just away. Okay, all right. Yeah, maybe a little bit better in thought than execution, but
to be fair, though, that's going to be a lot different now. Mira does now have the Blink Dagger here. Okay. So the raw Blink on Marcy. It's one of the best things about this hero is, like, sometimes the Aether build is still fine, sure. But I think there's a lot of games where you find yourself chasing in situations like this and you're just like, I just need Blink. Yeah. Like Brown Boots Blink. It's so incredible on this hero. It's just such a free initiation, and they're going to opt for it. And so maybe find themselves into a smoke and to find a kill, go to Roche. And how does the fight look good for them, though? Like, what is the best initial jump? Probably, like, hop in, Aether pull on one target, and perhaps even Yulesing up another one so there's less turnaround potential. Maybe Yulesing up that Skywrath Mage or Tusk.
I mean, if they could find the Sky, that's always such a nice answer. But likewise...
But it's BKB time for GPK.
Yeah. They find Yamich. There's the Aether. But it's a little bit off the mark. GPK takes that one, but Poshka dead. Collapse has to run, but the X pulls them back in. This is not the fight that Team Spirit wanted, as everybody was there from outsiders, and with Ramsey showing up, this is going to be a tower and another kill.
I'd like that to Roche now. There's a DD. I think they go Roche with meta, right? Take this away from the Ursa lineup?
Oh, this is huge.
Yeah, get in there.
What a big turn.
Go.
I mean, do they think about coming on in to fight this, or even like steal an Aegis? It's too dangerous.
No, there's not even the shard on the Dazzle right now, which would be amazing in this sort of scenario, but they're not going to have it. And so, again, this window just, it's kind of getting slammed shut right now. I mean, obviously it's not over, but just so much of what they're looking for is being taken away by outsiders right now.
And you talked about that like initial jump, right? They kind of did 2 separate things. Mira went in with the Dispose, and then you had the Remnant, which was just thrown down right away, and then it ended up missing. So a little bit of miscommunication between Spirit and outsiders, the beneficiaries.
It's also a very difficult spot to fight on the map versus Tusk and Kunkka, because it's like enclosed spaces, and they can sort of cut off a lot of the exits right there between the trees and the ramp, and so then the boat coming down, it was difficult to escape from a lot of that. And now a Brigand's Blade found, I believe, from outsiders. I guess he's more happy with the broom handle. Fair enough. And soon into the Chrysalis here, so big damage for GPK.
I mean, as much as that looked terrible, now you don't have the Aegis on the Ursa, I still kind of feel like Team Spirit's lineup has some stuff in it. If things go right for them, but these types of smokes when they miss, it always hurts so bad.
It's tough because Yadaro's in that moment where he really, really wants the BKB, and this is a game where it's so hard to ignore it. Maybe you can get away with it if you had to get the Aegis or something and then go for the Basher, so his own control is very limited. Means he's going to be relying on this Blink Dispose, and again, I do think that Dazzle Shard is still pretty huge. At least he has the Philosopher's Stone to get in towards it, so that'll help continue their Chain Stun from Miposhka, and getting Collapse damages in is kind of similar to getting Yadaro able to right-click, right? Like,
yeah,
you can sort of slow them down and stuff, but there's a lot of these tools at this point of the game where you don't just get to like freely right-click someone.
And this moment right here too, outsiders spotted that ward, and Toronto Tokyo in a little bit of trouble, has the Yule Scepter used. Can they bring him down? Has his own now to try and survive through this. Second round, jumps away, Grave is there, maybe a good fight. GPK gets jumped on, Yadaro blows him up. DM trying to walk away from this one. Will Timber chain out as Team Spirit have a potential to chase this. Yeah. They see everybody as Ramses walks forward, stunned up. Where's the follow-up? Do they have enough? Mira is absolutely obliterated as Yadaro gets taken down low. TP's out, but the Yules is there. So no chance to escape as Team Spirit lose 3. And they saw Ramses walk in. They had that ward down.
I'm thinking they probably shouldn't have chased. I'm just, you know, in Captain Hindsight here,
Yeah.
looks like that might not have worked out too well for them because Ramses just went for the old turn and burn, and it's tempting to go because you see the run buff wearing out, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, Kunkka's dead, like let's go here, and unable to turn it here with, considering the situation too, just it started out fairly well, right? You get this nice grave save here after his own defensive Yules. I think that might have been a miscommunication maybe where Hakoda didn't know that it was of their own Yules first.
Yeah.
And so he tried to throw that down instead, and then the run buff, it's ending, and that's what I think propels him into this chase. Because it's like, oh, we have Blink, we have Rebound, we want to fight into them right now. But yeah, Ramsey just shows up.
And once they were up on that high ground, there just wasn't an opportunity. Yamich making the control happen. And like when Toronto Tokyo dies, the fight's over.
Yeah, not much else to do after that, especially when the dispose happens and you can't even focus the Timber, right?
True.
That's sort of your one moment to get him down, and if you don't, he's just chaining, he's out of there, and you're in a lot of trouble.
So Outsiders, 6K gold up right now, 15 to 10. And with the next couple of minutes here, Aegis, still a little bit of time remaining. We'll see if they attempt to make the push happen on that top side of the map, take down that tier 2 tower, open up the outpost. But another pause, and Kunkka finishing a Shadow Blade. Yeah, he's working towards that Silver Edge, so grab that Shadow Blade first to help with your global initiation before you head off towards the Chrysalis. And that's one thing that isn't necessarily perfect for their lineup at this point, right? Right now they're relying on the Blink Tusk or just like reaching with an X, so now having that Shadow Blade gives them another avenue to open up these engagements in a positive way. And they currently have a great ward as well, directly in between 2 sentries in the mid. That's actually such a brutal ward. It is barely being ignored by these sentries, so catching a lot of these cross-map movements right now from Spirit could result in GPK running into some trouble, though, considering how many sentries are around it. That's true. If he actually went that way, but... Well, you've talked a lot about this. The Dazzle Shard is done now, and they are still controlling that top side of the map. All Terrorblade illusions will die to it. Not the real hero, unfortunately. Yeah, 2 seconds Hex doesn't sound like a long time until an Ursa's hitting you. You're like, wow, this is a long Hex. Stuns, boat, everything dropped. And Collapse has just been food over the last 7 minutes. And Yamich, all right. Let him know how he feels about it. Tier 2 tower done. They're testing high ground. In his defense, he did pick Viper. I think you kind of deserve it. That's fair. Gonna go and pulled back in. Yule Scepter to try and survive. That keeps him out of harm's way for the moment with Metamorphosis still going. 20 seconds on this Aegis, and we're hitting high ground, huh? It's pretty bold. Hex, Ramses continues to punch away at it. Has the Scotty, feels confident. I don't know if, I mean, they're not back on the Ursa, so they're going to take this tier 3 tower. No fight. No answer, no nothing. I mean, there's no BKB on Ursa. It is very hard for him to get into these engagements right now. Jumps on in. And with the Aegis expiring, they... Oh, do they get the ranged? Just barely. Not going to go down. 26 HE, although there's 2 illusions coming in. See if he goes on into micro that. It's okay, they'll get hexed. Nice. Jeez. Look at that, 70 gold. This shard pays for itself, man. I mean, I'd deny that, Rax. I don't care. That is why you're up here. Exactly. And not down there. Please don't deny your Rax, guys. Please. 16 to 10. Do you want super creeps? Because that's how you get super creeps. That's true. That's a fair point. GPK has looked pretty good for the follow-ups here. God, they need BKBs so bad on Spirit. Is that going to be the next one? Well, the problem is they can't even afford to get them on some of these heroes. Like, it feels so bad, you know? I mean, it's true. Like, Toronto Tokyo, you think this guy's buying a BKB? I don't think so. Yeah, so then Yado's finally going to get one. And actually, they're really surprisingly close to collapse. That's good. He didn't even have to go for the disassemble play. Yeah, there you go. Gets the full one done. I mean, it does feel bad when you're Viper, especially. You know, true. It's like some heroes it doesn't feel quite as bad, but needs that range. Okay, so a new breath of life here for Team Spirit. The Aegis is down. They don't have to worry about a second life. They have BKBs. They have that great Blink initiation there from the Marcy. Perhaps they can find themselves a good play, but Yamich, he is on the prowl. Look at this guy. He's sitting up on the pillar. Yeah. Shadow amuleted. I mean, this tells you everything about Outsiders right now. Like, Roche isn't even capable of responding for another, like, minute and a half, but they know this is the key to victory. They're going to hang on to this side of the map, not give up that outpost, not give up anything. And for Spirit, they've got to find a way to pull them elsewhere. Maybe get some vision down at some point. They need a late spawn. If they get a really late spawn on Roche, not that they'll, of course, know, so it's still very hard to play around these objectives in that sense. They need the timing to try and get this Aghanim Scepter done on Void Spirit, as well as the Basher done on Ursa. Well, that is the plan at the very least, and it's going to take them a little while to make that happen. But for now, keeping these lanes pushed out and not losing any heroes in any random smoke rotations. Because that's the other thing. We've seen a couple of different times now where Outsiders have been able to find these pickoffs in moments where you not otherwise would have been able to. DM just walks in and they have no punish for that at all.
Yeah, and you got to be careful too because of the Silver Edge as well. That break, very good.
Dispose brings him down low. GPK, he didn't stand a chance.
No,
all right, they got what they needed. Now he's X to pull back in DM. He misses his chain. Everything is falling apart for Outsiders in the last couple minutes here.
Nice grave.
Nira saved for the moment. DM, BKB running down low. Yamich, they're right on top of him. Toronto Tokyo kills another. But can he find anything else? Yamich almost gets him, but it's not quite there. Get the Yule Scepter, the lift up. Toronto Tokyo throws out the Remnant, gets the kill, dissimulates away, and Ramses also escapes. So we said an early spawn would be bad. Now it's really good if it's an immediate spawn. 45 seconds.
Yeah, at least they'll be back up on the side of Outsiders, though, so it shouldn't be too free unless they're like literally sitting in the pit waiting for it to spawn. But Team Spirit, that's all it takes with the Bear. One person out of position. GPK, the backbone of this team, throughout a lot of these engagements, getting that run buff down, helping out all the allies, and he was gone. He was dead so fast, the replay doesn't have him in it.
That's unreal. And I mean, again, normally good to X your teammate to pull him back afterwards, but because he just got so locked down, it ended up being terrible. And oof, 6,000 gold lead gone very quickly as Team Spirit have found a way to pull themselves back into this game.
Yeah, it's all just about enabling that Bear, getting that BKB up and striking at the perfect moment here from Team Spirit, and that is exactly what they did. We now go back for the Tier 3 neutrals. Farm those up, but those big items, they're coming through. Basher will be done in just a moment. Aghanim's already done.
This is Danger Town, though, because again, Team Spirit, you really don't want to give up this Roche if you can avoid it. And for Outsiders, you kind of have to commit a meta, I think, to take it quickly. Things get a little bit terrifying otherwise.
The question is, how fast do they react when they suddenly get silenced by Void Spirit, right?
Oh, good scan.
Because, like, Hakoda has nothing.
Yeah.
So he can just go down. That's a huge aspect. And same thing with Yamich, because Yamich is this big blink save with the snowball. So targeting these two supports, they look pretty free for Toronto Tokyo in these engagements right now.
Double ward placed down there by Maposhka. A misclick. And I don't know if they have another one, actually, to drop on the high ground.
Unfortunately, it's an invis. Surprisingly, not that great here.
Jumps in, DM. That's the BKB. That's a good bait. If Toronto Tokyo gets out, they're fine with this. Outsiders use a BKB right before a pivotal Roche fight.
They smoke instantly again.
Yeah.
They know how important this fight is.
They are dodging away. They do not want to get caught out of position here.
Yeah, DM going to grab the outpost. Excellent, just in case they need a buyback moment here.
And up top, they actually are going to lose that Rax.
Oh, but here we go. Yadaro's going to hop in.
They're heading top. So this Roche is going the way of Team Spirit. They move on into the pit, going to claim this one. And Outsiders, I don't know if they're going to get back in time. Tries to bring it down, moving in, the shards. It spots some sad news for Outsiders as they lose the Roche, and they don't even get the top melee racks for the trouble.
They don't even commit to it with the creep wave being there just in case the rotation. So Outsiders getting a bit caught up here.
I mean, this is what we talked about. This is what has happened in so many Team Spirit games. They come out a little bit behind to worse in the mid game, and then late game, some of these decision-making choices have just really worked out for them well. And it's, I mean, obviously still anybody's game with less than 2,000 gold separating the two teams, but a big win there for Spirit.
Yeah, part of it is that Outsiders have a very formulaic way they want to take these engagements, and when someone like GPK just gets blown up, that's why it just completely fell apart. You know, like he has to be at the front, or there's just no way for Ramses to really play. Yamich is looking for them to spend spells so that he can make saves, or he just wants that first like blink burst of initiation, and he was just so isolated on GPK and blown up so fast by that Ursa that it sort of crumbled. Whereas that's something that Team Spirit have just kind of everywhere, right? This like blink dispose back, even just the hex from the dazzle. If you just make one tiny mistake, you're gonna get annihilated between this Ursa and Void Spirit.
Now, there is also that danger of, as this game goes later, the strength of Terrorblade. And Ramses definitely is set up to become a monster. Top net worth in the game right now. And going next into Daedalus after having already the BKB done.
Yeah, and if they can keep those bodies in front of the Timbersaw and the Kunkka, you're going to try and give the spacing for Ramses, because he's already, well, you know, past this Scotting to the next level of itemization coming out here.
True.
And Yadro is always going to be struggling with that through the entire game.
Well, a bottled up DD Basher in the backpack.
Smoke time.
Let's see what Team Spirit can manage to do with this. They need to push out that top lane. The frustration of having that, or rather, range racks dead. It's going to keep the pressure out.
I think they spent all their smokes as well in that rush.
Oh, really?
I think like global smokes are just down right now. We've got one on a Hakoda by the looks of it, but
Premium.
Obviously not looking to make too many aggressive moves right now into that Aegis.
Silver Edge done for the Kunkka. You can see DM going in for the Shivas. You can see also Outsiders slight favorites right now. I'm assuming that's just because of that late game scaling that we've talked about.
Late game scaling, and I think also just the difficulty is these BKBs start to wear out of playing versus the Kunkka, right? It's when the Kunkka just needs to hold you and he has an extra damage source, when that's not his reliability in a team fight, that's when Kunkka shines to me. Is that he just has to like get the water park going, you know? Head on over to old Six Flags, light it up.
Dual Scepter, lift up, good save. Will it be enough though? Mira dead already. And very deep on Yatoro. The X is there for afterwards. Doesn't want to use his BKB on his first life, so that's Aegis down. Taunted. The moment Ramses, Yatoro just backs away, but the Scotty, the piercing BKB spell, and
the silence.
Immediately TP's away.
And Toronto got caught.
Oh, Maposhka's gonna die, but a nice play waiting for the Walrus Punch before he TP'd out.
All right, so that was really nice that they're at least able to save their Ursa, but Toronto was sort of waiting, right? Because I thought maybe on the revive he was going to go in and try and get a big silence to counter out the Tusk and the Skywrath Mage, but instead he waited until Ursa respawns instantly BKBs, and so he tries to come in after as the BKB's ending, and he was just so ready on Hakoda, got the instant Ancient Seal on him.
That is the danger, of course, of
and this was all
Scepter.
Yeah, all chasing a Timber, by the way. Because you have a DD, you understand, but that's what Yamich is waiting for, right? This is what happens when you don't get blown up right away, and Yamich has to start to play, and suddenly this whole idea of Team Spirit being able to win fights just goes out the window. So you can see up top there, he's just waiting. It's fine, we're back in the game.
Perfect. Got some more action that's going to come around the corner. I mean, that's the thing, right, is that he needs to come up with an answer for that. And likewise, going on the Timber, if you can get him down and kill him, it's always great, but we can see what happens when it doesn't work out that way. Aghanim's done for the Kunkka now. So, as you mentioned, Torrent Storm ready to go. And that is so hard to play into once those BKBs are much lower. Has the Torrent AoE talent at 22.
I know a lot about these splash pads now, because you know, got the kids. It's really hot out. Everyone's there, and let me just tell you that there is nothing but sheer panic at a splash pad.
Okay.
All right, from age 0 to age 99, you never know where that water's coming out.
Yeah, it's the same type.
It's terrifying. That's all this is. It's just a big splash pad for Kunkka.
It's emotional damage. It's dangerous.
And it's also really difficult to navigate as your BKBs start to wear out. And that's what's happening, right? We've got 7 seconds left on Yatoro. It's something that a Dazzle, you know, we used to talk about like Ravage a lot of time versus Dazzle. There's this big AoE, and so even if you're trying to wait in behind to save some target, when the Ravage comes out, you get Ravage too because it's so big. So imagine you're trying to navigate these fights as poor little Maposhka here, got nothing, just a shard. He might have spy a Blink this game just to try and hang way back for a Blink Grave.
Something. I mean, it's tough. Like, when the fights become that chaotic, and also you can get blown up. But a Smoking Out and Outsiders, they don't have vision, but Toronto Tokyo, he is under reward. So Team Spirit would have perfect vision of all of this. They see it now, and that tells Outsiders that they don't want to fight there.
Yeah, only the smoke popping on GPK, though, as he was invis, too, as he runs around with his gem.
That was well done, though. And Team Spirit, realizing that there could have been something coming their way, they're going to hold their high ground.
Could I interest you in a third Roche, perhaps?
Exactly, right?
You know?
That's what it feels like. God, Sidekick is so good. Get a ton of damage out of that.
Well, when you're given the freedom to right-click people, it can be very good. But in this game, some difficulties there.
True.
Now a Daedalus done for the Terrorblade. We have our Timbersaw working on the Wind Waker, which is a great item to help save anyone in those precarious situations when they're trying to get this initial blow-up. Plus, already has the Shiva's Guard, too. So just continuing to kite this Ursa around these engagements.
Abyssal Blade is going to come out next. Might need to get in towards a Nullifier or something at some point. Because, like you said, there's all those defensive options on the side of Outsiders. And Yatoro also going in for the E-Blade. So wants to be able to get more solo pick-off potential for himself.
Toronto Tokyo.
Toronto Tokyo, that's the one.
Not a Yatoro.
Not a Yatoro.
That sounds hype, though.
Dude, Bear E-Blade?
That sounds... That's like the worst anti-synergy I've ever heard.
All right, well, that's how it goes sometimes. Tusk is going to get the D ward there too. And they're very much bullying them around the map right now. Outsiders, everywhere that they go, Team Spirit have to back out of there. Tier 2 tower is dead across the board. But on the side of Outsiders, they still have both their Tier 2s bottom and mid, as well as a Tier 1 up top.
And the question is, for Team Spirit, how can you enable your pickoff style draft? How can you actually separate Outsiders right now where you can find this moment to get this dispose into the Ursa blow up that you had before? And unfortunately, I don't know if there's a really good answer for that. I feel like they don't have the creep wave pressure, right? They don't have either support that can do that. They have a Dazzle and a Marcy, so there's nothing weird that they can be doing to try and like force a hero back just for that brief second. Even if they have bots, right? Like that's the kind of window you just need for an Ursa to kill someone, but there's really nothing pressuring Outsiders to split up right now.
No, they can stay together on the map. GPK can play X marks games. Keep those lanes shoved out.
He can X marks. They've got Conjure Image. Like, there's just no way you can match the lane pressure that they have. And so, as the clock ticks on, you would think that it's going to continue to grow more and more in Outsiders' favor until Team Spirit can sort of snipe that tiny little window of annihilating someone.
Well, there will be another window that opens up here as 43 seconds till Roche respawns, but also the next Tier 4 neutral item's about to spawn. And maybe you find a couple of answers in there, but it is looking tough to play the map right now on Team Spirit, and for Outsiders, just waiting for that Roche to respawn. Ninja Gear, it's pretty decent there for the Ursa.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they want on Outsiders. Oh, they definitely want Leveler, too.
MKB done.
Quality Ursa item. It's, you know, versus these Agi heroes, that is one of the benefits of Ursa in a lot of ways, is that they have a hard time going for butterflies because you're usually going to opt for that anyway, but Ramses wasn't heading that direction. Wants to give himself a Satanic next. Starts buying out, selling. Doesn't quite hit it. His math was a little bit off, but there you go. Reaver's done now, so the rest of it flying under the courier. So now Satanic, Manta, BKB, everything here ready for this fight. They head into the pit. And they also have a ward up on that high ground.
And Team Spirit, do they know about this? Toronto Tokyo checking, gets the D ward, dissimulate on down to the low ground, gets the silence onto both. Mira catches, bringing down Yimage. Roche very low. Toronto Tokyo, he's silenced. They have the water park going. Ramses gets the Aegis, gets everything.
Yeah, Refresher share to GPK as well if they want to chase.
Can think about it. Yadro gets up to the high ground, trying to get a little bit of separation from Ramses. They're fighting into the vision that Spirit have. Hex already out from Dazzle. GPK, BKB, catching Maposhka. Grave is there. TP's out. They have Refresher round 2, but Ramses is dead once.
They got Hakoda.
Can they do it anymore? DM, he's a menace in the backline. Toronto Tokyo gets the lift up, but can't escape. And on the other side, Yadaro wants to get on top of a couple more of these targets. Collapse is doing so much. Mira pulls him back in. Can they bring him down in time? It looks like they will, as the bash is there. Ramses in trouble. No way out.
Just in case he needed the perfectly timed bash at the end there for the kill. So taking him down twice, but it was a costly couple of kills there. 3 buybacks across the side of Team Spirit. Only the 2 supports having to buy back on the side of Outsiders, but you will take that in the current game state that they had, and the fact that you're not going to have to contest with this Aegis Terrorblade approaching your high ground.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference. But I mean, look at how dangerous this Scotty is, and of course, a good play by Team Spirit. Have the vision there, pull him back into it.
Should they have chased up this high ground in Captain Hindsight?
I mean, for Outsiders, it feels a little rough to lose that Aegis, for sure.
As well as the Refresher share, too, right? They also spent that, and all he got out of it was the 2 kills on the supports.
True.
Oh, actually, no, he got the kill there, too, as well. Toronto Tokyo. So you'll take that, right? Force a buyback on Toronto Tokyo with the Refresher shard. So, benefits, it keeps this game fairly even. They're not as forced back in their own base. They're not going to be as pressured on the map as hard by Outsiders had they just, like, not won this fight or not been engaged by Outsiders. But the downside is now that there are some pretty significant win conditions here for the side of Outsiders. If they manage to take down someone like Toronto Tokyo, it's going to be very difficult for them to hold that high ground.
Already having the tower down means 1 win and creeps in the base. You could potentially end the game off the back of Terrorblade being alive. So 40-minute mark comes around, and, well, the rest of Team Spirit going to TP out after pressuring bottom.
It's like the most they've gotten on the map in so long. They can't even get the tier 2.
I mean, it's rough. Hard to fight into this team that Outsiders has assembled.
Yeah, and this is just, it's classic just like lane shove issues. They just don't have the capacity to deal with this right now with these heroes.
There's one other thing, is the levels definitely get a big swing back into the favor of Team Spirit there, as 25 first, the only one to have it so far.
Yeah, the one thing about running around as a group, of course, and with illusion here, so they don't gain the levels as fast, because it's a lot of the images just clearing these side waves. And so when you're all running around as 5, even if you're growing more of a net worth lead, you might not get the same XP lead that you can get when you're dominating as hard.
Right.
And then when you win these comeback fights, that's when all that XP just like suddenly pours back into Team Spirit's side.
A couple more items picked up, and we mentioned that there was actually another 25 there for the Kunkka. So he has the Ghost Ship fleet. These fights feel like an impossibility without having BKBs ready to go. Let's see what they can do with it, though. As Collapse heads on out towards mid. Penta Edge Sword, that's a nice one.
They do have another gem now on Mapochka, so I believe they lost one at some point, but that's there. So gem to help out. We're going to have a unassembled Aeon Disc as well here on Toronto Tokyo. So prepped to make a big play.
Smoke on smoke. Where are they going to find each other? The smoke on the illusion, that breaks, so it tells them that they're in the area. Oh, that is big. And now get the vision down, jumps away afterwards. Team Spirit already in on the fight. The silence is there. Yule Scepter afterwards. GPK, he pulls Mapochka back in. Getting up onto the high ground, he's actually going to be stuck up there, gets obliterated. Skywrath Mage is also dead as Yadro tries to escape. Yamich in with the punch, in with the snowball. Collapse TP's out. Does he have a way to escape? He does.
Good read there, seeing the wall smash used to kill Mira. At least finds a way to survive, but Outsiders, they're just playing it really safe by targeting the supports down right away. You know, you don't want these safe plays coming up between like the rebounds and the dispos getting tossed back and the shallow grave. Somehow they turn it around. You already know what your win condition is, so get those supports out of the way, and that's gonna make it easier to bring down Toronto Tokyo. And yeah, that was a gem hunt right there.
Listen, when your heroes die, you still got
Toronto Tokyo's trying to make a desperation play here in the back.
BKB immediately and out. And they find any more. Collapse has to back away. He's in trouble, though. DM right on top of him. Yadro actually jumps in and kills Yamich, though. Maybe a chance for a turn. Toronto Tokyo lands. Do they have enough damage? A couple more hits. The bash, it's good.
They can't help.
Get the Sunder off in time. He does. Oh, Toronto Tokyo could not escape from it. Now Yadro in trouble. They have the torrent. The connection is there. It was so close, but that Yules, it interrupted. But maybe now Ramses, a second round of this. Hoping to get out, but won't manage. It did cost a buyback, but they got what they needed.
I feel like GPK DM had just given up. They're like, he's dead. Let him go. Hits the Sunder, but then abandoned once more. As this time with no Sunder available, as he is so close to 25, by the way. Had he gone for that, that would have been kind of hype in the middle of that fight. And back out on the map, Yadro is feeling a bit peckish, it would seem.
Yeah, he needs to get something. That is one of those fights that I mean, if you get this kill onto Ramses, it changes everything. And the fact that you don't, and it costs the buyback after, actually, that's what really hurts.
It was such an excellent way. I mean, it's truly the only play that Toronto Tokyo has, right? He's like going that backline with the Invis rune that he had gotten out of the river. Try and interrupt this siege as his allies are dead. Man, what could have been. And after that buyback, GPK and DM just say, we don't want any part of this. Know that at least somebody is going to be dead. But 11,000 gold lead. It's been sitting around this area for a little while now, and every time it looks like Team Spirit are going to take a positive move, they get set back a couple spaces. They have to do something crazy here. Oh, there's a scan into a pause. Well, PC lag is the call. Yeah, unfortunate. SDM. Don't want to be lagging right now. Well, it's the disconnect. So their best hope right now for Team Spirit is just to do something crazy and try and take advantage of the fact that they're broken up right now, right? Because there's no snowball save. So, like, you pretty much just want to jump high ground. Okay. I seriously think that's what he would be willing to do. DM getting his space checked out there. You think it's worth just jumping high ground, potentially? I mean, I guess so with Terrorblade dead, you know, you can force a buyback. Things get crazy. But yeah, the game is very hard. Yeah, it's been a great game so far, though. I mean, talk about these like earlier timings where we thought that maybe Team Spirit wouldn't have much hope out of that, just in case things didn't necessarily swing their way with these later abilities to just like control the waves and these big AOE spells from Outsiders. But they were able to get those key pickoffs from Team Spirit that allowed this game to sort of continue at a relatively even pace for a while until this lead was grown by Outsiders. Now it just feels like constant like comeback fights here from Team Spirit, but still certainly not out of it by any means. It's just always going to be an uphill battle for them.
That's right. Maposhka's not even looking at Toronto Tokyo. So mad. That's probably not it.
It's the armchair analysis. That's what I like to see.
Clearly. It's just playing at the angle. That's the PC.
That's the look
Cafe.
of someone who's been playing Viper.
Oh, yeah.
For 44 minutes. It's like, well, next game maybe.
No, it's really interesting. I think the dynamic between these two teams, like, it feels like they're both that like younger generation within Eastern Europe that have really risen up, obviously, into highest levels and become a bit of a rivalry between them.
All right.
We'll see who comes out on top of this one as we're back into the game now.
Yeah, pause over, back on, headphones back on. Yeah, jump that base, come on. I thought he was going to go break for it while the Tusk was there, but yeah, they're not going for it right now. So back into the jungle. It's obviously a risky play. Pauses tend to lose your mojo. You don't have as good sense on everything, so play it safe, head on back. And now with the respawn here, Outsiders, they look like they're just ready to just run at him again.
There's a chance. That DD's wearing off. And almost level 25 on Ramses. You talked about that earlier.
Look what he does. He smokes himself in the fountain, and then he TPs in, and he sees that he's still smoked under the tier 2, and so he just conjures the images and keeps running through. So he knows they're not waiting there to gank him.
Right.
Because his teammates were also sort of close, that they could have been running that direction.
There's been a couple cool little plays there with the smoke illusions. That one that we saw mid where he...
The Ninja Gears are so crafty, you know? You can do so much
cool.
fun stuff. I mean, we've also been seeing Yadro do the same thing, right, when he was Ninja Gearing around as well.
Hex done. Swift blink for Yadro. The Hex will be big, and that blink dagger that you talked about for Dazzle, he has gone for it.
Yeah.
So Aether, blink.
He's so late on his purchases too. He's always making sure he's got that buyback, I guess. But I mean, he's actually still. I guess he's still taking into it at this point. But he's been holding a lot of cash this game. I've noticed from Maposhka.
That's true.
You know, he like farmed over his shard. He farmed over his blink.
Right.
But has determined that this is the time.
Aghanim Scepter done for Viper. And the setup for the next Roche fight. We'll see how long the respawn is. And just a couple of seconds here. And it's going to be a very short one. Wow, 3 spawns under a minute in this game. Buyback status, Tusk, Timber, Terrorblade.
All right, well, we'll see if the Aghanims can get done there. The attack's
couple
level
finishing more
80
quickly here
as well. Oh, that's a quick one. Quick old Roche, huh?
Yeah. It's actually
how about another Ags?
I know, why not? Well, I was saying that there's also the respawns now. The buybacks are going to be ready for a couple other heroes.
Gotcha. Yeah. As we hit our 4th Roche. So everything's there. Come and collect your prize if you dare.
It's dangerous. Toronto Tokyo is going to have to show down bottom.
It's tough because the story hasn't changed much for Spirit.
Oh, they're not going to realize this.
They're still in lane problems, and the way they start fights is still very difficult.
Oh, and there's no way for them to check into the pit, and this is such a quick Roche, they would not have anticipated this.
I mean, how do you even fight this?
I mean, it's a possibility, but Outsiders, they're going to get it. They Timber chain in, and Roche goes the way of Outsiders.
I love just that little bit of play there, too, to stop any blinks or anything, right?
Yeah.
Putting the Shiva's guard up onto the high ground there.
Aghanim Scepter, it is passed over to DM.
Yep, great choice.
This is such
a
jump
though.
Big
damage.
Burst. Damage. Taking some stuns, but
don't
they
have that
dissimilate away.
Yeah, he still has an itemized Swords of Dispel as well, so he still is being targeted quite heavily by Toronto Tokyo.
Yeah. Only that disassemble or the assemble play available to him.
Oh no, I mean on Yamich.
Oh, for Yamich, yeah.
You can just like jump on him. But he's also a very tanky guy, you know. He's got himself the Glimmer Cape too. He can help live through that.
So this is double Hex now, both for the Timber and then also on the Kunkka. And then the other issue is the Refresher Shard. I mean, this could get very scary for Team Spirit if they decide to push here, and I feel like they're coming.
Yadro's BKB wins this game. That's like their only hope right now, right? Like he has to get so much done during that BKB, or it's gonna be very hard for him to fight. Or if he gets a quick kill without the BKB using the Swift Blink, that could also be huge. They need a weird bait right now. You know, they're positioned over here. They're not even in their base. They're trying to find something a little bit funky.
And Outsiders, they're not going to give it to them. They just walk on forward. Going to do some X plays there. Ramses takes down that tier 3 tower. Illusion's dead, but the rest of Team Spirit a little bit slow to show up. And look at this.
Oh, Mira.
They see him underneath a ward. Nah, but he's going to TP back. All right.
Man, They were TPing so close to the base, too.
Yeah. 18K. That Roche going the way of Outsiders really hurts Spirit. Is that a Scotty done also on the Viper? DM walks up high ground. They spot that there's no vision nearby. But Yemich in pretty far forward with the Glimmer Cape. He gets down a ward, but Yadro finds him. Snowball. Toronto Tokyo tries to get the lift over to the side. He pulls him back in, and, well, Outsiders are going to leave their Tusk for dead.
Yeah, that was a pretty greedy maneuver to make. I mean, they have 2 gems now.
Back towards
so
mid.
That ward's really dead.
They lose the range racks. But getting the kill on the Tusk, not bad.
No, they desperately need that kind of a play. They need that kill on the Tusk because it makes the initiation a lot safer for Yadro to go in. And again, the pressure is there now, Team Spirit, to go and make a move. You don't want to just like hold back after getting this kill.
Yeah, it's so hard though, like you say. They're smoked up. DM, they walk forward. Hex is there. Immediately assembles, stun, follow up. Do they have enough to bring down DM? He's dead.
Yeah, now get out. I mean, that's the pressure. When there's no snowball, like, sure, you can buy back. I forced it out of Yamich, but they get an excellent target. There's no save available. And now you're off foot, right? You're kind of a little bit tilted, one could say, on the side of Outsiders, because you're missing one of your heroes, and so you don't want to progress on the map without your Timber Saw, and you just want to buy back for nothing. And so now you've just stalled out a minute and a half here, and, well, you know what? That Aegis. Not gonna be a lot of time left there by the time he gets back.
That's true. And the BKB, the sort of small price that you pay on the Ursa for being used, but it's not enough to make Outsiders feel comfortable going up and pushing for high ground.
And he understands the necessity of this BKB as well. That's why he's going for the refresher orb, next on Yadro as well. You have to have it.
If you can find any moment to make that work and get one of those key pickoffs, it's going to be a constant danger throughout the rest of this game.
Wow. Do you think we will be reaching the tier 5 neutral items?
I mean, I don't know.
Because I heard some jibber jabber.
Oh yeah,
about a specific one that refreshes your items.
That's true.
People love that one.
That's a good one.
That one could be really good this game when you really need your BKB.
You're not wrong. I mean, that would be a huge pickup for Team Spirit if they could get it. For Outsiders, it feels like any mistake that Team Spirit make, you run down the lanes, you just start beating away at the towers, beating away at those racks, and it's going to be in the bank. But refresher done. Double BKB, double Abyssal Blade.
I mean, it's so impossible for him to fight without BKB that he just buys it out, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's better to have the refresher in his eyes than to have buyback.
And making sure that they can be ready for this next fight if it comes around. 30 seconds left. Aegis is not going to be used. And Outsiders, I don't know if they really want to like just make an attempt at a tower. Like, in a way, they can just keep on farming out the waves, put some pressure on with the illusions, but it's hard to walk high ground.
Everyone's just buying refresher. Every hero you click is just like another refresher. Conker's looking at it. Terrorblade's looking at it. All these other items are so good, I just want them twice.
Well, Aegis reclaimed. They still have the refresher shard on the Kunkka. And vision-wise, Team Spirit hanging on to this little area of their jungle. With all the Aeon discs done. Oh, and that's an interesting one. Toronto Tokyo, if he could get to this, he's queued up the Revenant's Brooch.
Dude, you sniped it in the draft.
I was talking about that.
He was.
The Revenant's Brooch against Terrorblade is insane.
I don't know why you wanted the game to go this way, but here we are. Congratulations.
This item is nuts. If he can get to that, that's another big way to
Tell me, Lyrical, why do I want it versus Terrorblade?
It's all magical damage. It makes everything terrifying. You can E-Blade him. You can
sounds pretty good.
Very good. Also, I think that was a Wind Waker that I saw, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I believe Toronto Tokyo has one, and I don't think it ever got finished on DM. Although he's been hoarding quite a bit of gold himself.
We'll have to watch and see if Outsiders let them get to this stage, but right now these fights become... The 14k gold lead becomes much less important than any vision, any good opening, all of the rest of it, and of course buybacks.
The first jump. Blink cancel there on Yadro from the Tidebringer, so it doesn't have an option.
Still no buyback on the Tusk, no buyback on Ursa for gold. Same for Marcy and Dazzle. And Outsiders, again, hang out around this angle. They're going to push in those illusions on the bottom side, try and take the ranged racks. So this damage is good, but the melee ones are going to regenerate eventually.
Yeah, the fact they have all of their melee racks up too is actually kind of great, because it's not that easy for outsiders to just like kind of go in and try and like YOLO for megas or something, right? They're too spread out at the moment. It's not like it's just like one single lane of racks. It's also not doing as much economical damage for them to be just sitting in their base at this point, and because the waves are still worth a decent amount of gold since they've only taken the range racks.
In fact, you get that nice bit of gold from the illusions.
There you go. They're making money. Being down.
Gotta look at the positive sides.
All right, we got a Swift Blink now finished up here for Ramses. Inventory's growing here.
I mean, this is one of those classic games where it's just going to be, you know, either one big fight and outsiders lose it all.
You know why this game's kept going? Because we haven't played America's favorite game yet, despite there being 4 Roches. And so, Lyrical, I ask you again, when will this Roche be spawning?
I mean, if it's any indication, it's going to be early. That's what we've had, what, 3 times in a row now?
I think it's been 40-something seconds 3 times in a row or something.
All right, I'm going to say 50 seconds then. We're going up a bit.
I'm going to go with 42.
All right, I like this.
Or it's the meaning of death this game will be Roche.
Price is right. That's what we're playing, those rules.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't think we can sing that.
I just a couple notes.
Okay.
As long as I change the octave, whatever that means,
yeah.
I think we'll be okay. And it's a really long one.
It's about as long as it gets.
About 9 seconds to save there.
I mean, so this is also going to be a really back and forth moment.
GPK is going to be there a while.
That's true. He's going to be in the pit. But, I mean, it's going to be interesting, right? Because if you do happen... Ooh, just outside of vision right there. If they feel like they have to stay around this area, there's a chance they might just bump into each other, and suddenly that starts out what could be a game-ending fight.
And then, like, what if you get the Aegis, and like, let's say it's still even and there wasn't a big fight, then are you going to wait for the items?
Vision down. Miposhka just outside of range. They see him there. The Hex comes out. There's the Aeon Disc, tries to survive. Good silence onto 3. Yadoro trying to bring down DM. He is left all alone. DM slowed down, and Ramses just jumps forward, blows up 1. The Hex comes out, but it's a bit too late. GPK down low, but the snowball save to keep him alive. Can he get out afterwards? It doesn't quite look like it. Invis the cheese Passover and the eat. Oh, that was pretty. That was very pretty. Spirit, they lose 3. A buyback already on that Dazzle.
Yadoro's trying to chase.
Can they do it? It's so tempting. It's been early Roches. They don't know that it's not the pivotal fight right now. They can back out and still not lose out too much.
And the Hex there as well in Toronto, Tokyo. Just so many tools at this point available for outsiders. So well played in that fight. And finally, Yamich gets his chance, right? He's been targeted down so many times in the later stages of this game, but gets in there for the snowball save.
Unreal. And yeah, Yamich not only the snowball save, but then passing over the cheese to the Kunkka in the midst of all that chaos. Very well done.
And then Toronto actually had Wind Waker there too, and didn't go for the save on the post because he had it too. So I was like, oh, he's going to save his Wind Waker for some more important targets. But here we go, back in the real game.
Snowball right on top. There's the Hex onto 2. Toronto Tokyo follows up. There's the turn onto Yamich. Dead again. The boats come down. Yadoro tries to back away. He's slowed. The Grave is there. Has to turn to fight. Has to do something here. The Hex onto a couple from the low ground. Collapse doing some good damage. But the Torrent there for the lift up. Yadoro tries to back away the Enrage, but it's not enough. Dead for 2 minutes. Does have buyback. Toronto Tokyo jumps in again. Collapse. Trying to bring down this big bad Terrorblade. Ramsey's running away.
He still has Thunder.
Hex. He does have it, but can he get it off in time? A couple more Hexes, but Toronto Tokyo's there. He had the damage. Finds the kill and a buyback. And on the high ground, they find him.
He caught him.
Jump forward dead. What was that angle?
He just aethered him.
Oh my goodness. And Roche 16 seconds away. That long spawn ends up favoring Team Spirit here.
The buyback's getting forced out here now.
Yeah. They deward it. Oh, Roche, a couple more seconds is all they need. They buy back on the Tusk. 70 seconds on the Terrorblade.
Okay.
They need that one too.
Well, who's Collapse Viper? Why is he making plays on Viper, by the way?
TM goes in. Hexed. They didn't have vision here. Got him under control. Yadoro jumps forward, tries to bring him down, but there's the control. The Hex is out, misses on the chains. Yadoro is taking so much damage from the double chakrams, and the buyback already came from Ramses. They are not going to have the Ursa in this fight, as he drops with no buyback. Collapse wanting to escape, but actually will. There's no X, no nothing left. He gets away.
Tokyo, he got Hakoda in the back as well. So no
Miposhka?
Sky, but obviously still looking very good for now for outsiders.
Yeah, Miposhka goes down. Mira also caught. and Mira going to be killed. Yamich made the rundown happen. They reclaim the gem, and 3 heroes dead for a very long time.
And what is the call? Did you have the count here? Do you know Outsiders? Did you count 5 bullets or 6?
Where are they at? Do you feel lucky? They buy back on Marcy. They need everything right now to hold on to this. And it looks like they're going to give up the Mega Creeps. But do Outsiders push for it all? They've gotten the racks. Do they want to just try and end it here? 59 minutes into this game. Will they take the chance? Ramses, he wants it. Wants to end it right now. Goes forward for the tier 4 towers. They dispose one, try and bring them down. The Hex out afterwards. The fight looks pretty good so far for Outsiders. Toronto, Tokyo not able to bring down anybody. Ramses being whittled down. And has to Wind Waker away. They pull back and Collapse. He's in trouble. Collapse is dead. Has the buyback available. Marcy down 2. It's 2 against 5. The glyph is there, but I don't think that they have enough damage, as Team Spirit can only look on, try and find DM. Maybe they can bring less Timbersaw, but the Glimmer Cape is there. They find Collapse again. And with that, only one remain. GG called. Outsiders, they hold out.
Well, Team Spirit certainly didn't make it easy for them throughout the latter half of this game, but Outsiders just proving that their draft in the end was going to give them a better chance for the success, I would say. Not only just, obviously they played really well, but this idea of just trying to break apart Outsiders, they couldn't find it from Team Spirit, right?
Right.
They just got to do whatever they wanted across the map. The waves kept pushing in their favor. Very difficult for Team Spirit to find a way back into this one. Despite some excellent ganks and the utilization of that burst potential of the Ursa, couldn't quite get there for the W.
No, and it was a couple of those moments where, neither team has all the information